Dunbeholden, Tivoli against Portmore, and of course 2 matches tomorrow. Harbourview against Malines United, and of course Mount Pleasant and Humberland will do battle to round out match week 1. So early days, of course, with Waterhouse and Cavalier on top with 3 points. Montego Bay United back in the lead at the bottom. They have some way to go, but they didn't look too bad yesterday either.
No. As I noted, they looked very good up to the point where they went down to 10 men, and even after that, they still fought manfully. And perhaps they'd feel a touch unlucky to not have taken anything from the game, especially having missed the game's glorious chance. Alric Otti running through and missing an empty goal. But guess what? Those boys will be back. Otti will be back as well.
George earlier spoke with one Donovan Ducky, who usually complains about the short time pre-season is before obviously the start of a Premier League season, and let's hear what he had to say about his preparation for this new season.
Well, it can never be ideal, but we're grateful for the time that we have gotten. We have gotten about 4 to 5 weeks pre-season training. Still not adequate, but we have to be grateful, and it's good to be back.
In that context, what kind of performance are you expecting today?
Well, you can't predict the performance of the game. The last time we played against this team, we lost the game against them. We know that their pre-season has been very good. They have prepared over an extensive period of time. Ours are short, so based upon that, we have to be tactically smart today.
How have you plotted the course of the season? Are you planning to assess things each 5 games you play, or at the end of a round? How do you plan and gauge the success of what you're doing?
Well, we have to take it on a game-by-game basis, So, there's going to be pre-season, off-season, post-season, in-season. So it's a competitive season now. So a game-by-game scenario is going to be the best possible scenario for us going forward.
Well, last season, the league now is it's come soon on us, and we don't have enough pre-season, but we have to use our experience to go through the campaign.
Yeah, and in that context then, are you expecting that the boys will give a strong showing today, or there may be, some problems executing the game plan today?
Well, the team is very young, rounded with some senior players, and we have the ammunition to get the job done.
Yeah, overall, you expect what kind of campaign for Vere United?
Vere United, we're also going to pick up our left off last season, and I think we'll win this season.
Kadeem, of course, is going to be instrumental to his team's performance. 30 years old, he's been around for a while, George Davis.
Yeah, when people talk about experience and say experience and use your experience, it's one of the most nebulous things I've ever heard. But experience must mean know-how. You know how to react in pressure situations. You know how to react in the face of adversity, especially you know how to remain calm when the chips are down and you are up against it. That's what Kadeem Davis will have to provide. That's what's expected of him as a leader of this team and the man who organizes the defense, the first organizer of the defense in his position as goalkeeper.
Match number 3. Of course, we're warming up on the grass before they come over on the AstroTurf. Of course, we've heard a lot of complaints about playing on the AstroTurf, but of course they want to avoid it as much as possible before the action actually gets on the way. Let's now hear from our Harold Thomas, who is the head coach of Dunbeholden.
I'm never happy. At the end of the season, my happiness comes out.
With that said, how well have your boys responded to the direction you've imparted in the time that you've had to work with them?
It has been an improved reception from the lads. The extended preparation time has done much better for us. But there's so many items to deal with, you never have enough time. So we come into the competition still working on issues.
Have you prepared for this game very specific, or just to execute some things because the season is done? In other words, is today's opponent foremost in your mind, or you just want to make a good impression regardless of whoever you are playing against?
It's not specific to Vere. We want to come and play good, to execute some of the things we have done on the training pitch. We're not even sure what Vere is like as a team. So that is a process that will go on, but right now we're just concerned about having a good showing, have the lads play to some of the issues we have worked on, and see the intensity that they can carry into a game like this.
Are your boys fit enough to manage the conditions here over the course of the 90 minutes? Because we spoke to the teams who played in the opening game yesterday, and they found it tough, Cavalier and Arden Gardens.
Well, we have put in enough work, and there's a level of fitness. I'm not sure if the level of fitness would come on under these circumstances. But we're good enough to go the distance. Exactly whether or not we'll be 100%, I'm not sure.
I'm not thinking about nerves, just more confident than last season.
Yeah, your coach said the preseason could have been better. From a player's perspective, what are those things that you wish you had more time to work on?
Maybe, we'll get some short notice based on the league keep putting off. It was set from the 4th of this month and it pushed back, so we have to a bit delay and start over again for certain things.
What about the unity in the camp ahead of the season? Is there the unity behind Dunbeholden to really push for a big finish this year?
Yeah, positive as always. Dunbeholden, small community, small club, but we always try to keep unity together.
I've been really impressed with Nico Christian. Last year he was a workhorse in the middle of the park for Dunbeholden. Just had 3 assists to his name, wasn't on the score sheet, and the 30-year-old is expected to be pivotal to Dunbeholden this season, although he's not in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, maybe one of those who is short of work coming into this new campaign, hence his place on the bench to start the campaign. But the things you said about him are correct. He is one of their most creative players, and he puts in a very, very solid shift every time he puts on the jersey.
All right, we'll take a quick break here from the UEJFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. We'll be back with so much more after this. We are live here at the UEJFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence as the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital, continues today. Match week 1, Vere United against Dunbeholden, the first game of the doubleheader this afternoon. Now the teams make their way out to the middle as we take a look at Vere United for the first time this season, and then right after them Dunbeholden will make their entrance onto the field of play.
Yeah, yesterday I had a little fling, Donald, with the thermometry and disinfection machine put up by Connex over there. Rather fancy. You go in, you extend your palm, take your temperature reading, then you go and do a 360 spin to expose yourself to the disinfecting mist at the front, and then you walk out. You're clean, your temperature is recorded, you're good to go.
You said you had a fling?
Yes, I did.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, it was you want another word? It was a dalliance.
Ah, it was. The captain's out there. And that's Ricardo Campbell on the left, and on the right That looked to be Shaquille Da, the big centre back for Dunbeholden. And they're there for the toss. As we take a look at the officials as well, Odette Hamilton will be in charge of this one. Damien Williams and Valanza Bennett will assist her. Nerissa Goldson will be the fourth official. So this is the starting lineup for Vere United. Kadeem Davis is in goal. They have a back four of Lewis Campbell, Kevin Graham and Trevon Salmon in the middle of the park. Lamar Neal, Javier Brown, Ricardo Dennis, Ramon Plummer and Ricardo Messam behind the centre forward Francois Swaby. As far as Dunbeholden is concerned, Damien Hyatt will be in goal. A back four of McPherson, Dyer, the skipper, Dua and Pusey. Fabian McCarthy and Shakeen Powell there in the middle of the park. And Phillips, Murray, Bailey will be behind striker Atafroy Bygrave. Just moments away from the kickoff here. And you see the teams just meeting for the final time. And again, the early stages of this contest will be interesting to look at. Both teams, of course, not happy entirely with the pre-season. I must admit, though, it would have been better before last season, where it was a much shorter time. So I think they'll be more appreciative of that this time around. Not to mention the fact that Vere United, I think it was just them trying to understate their readiness for the season, because they did pretty well last season.
For sure. Look, there's a frame of mind issue as well. You spoke of last season. Last season, even before the first ball was kicked, many people are still unsure the season would go ahead. At least this season, you may not have known the precise date, but you knew for sure it was happening. So I think that would have helped the players immensely going into this campaign. And 4 or 5 weeks for pre-season, people might say, well, that's a lot of time. Not really, given the strength and conditioning that has to go in before the ball work starts, as we see the players taking the knee, talking. Well, it's a gesture aimed at raising awareness about the level of violence and crime in Jamaica. Very, very high homicide rate. And yeah, it's a powerful gesture by any measure.
You're right, George, it is. But the game will get on the way now. And it will be Dunbeholden, of course, in their blue outfit. Vere United in the white and yellow. And again, it's Dunbeholden again will be playing to their strength, which is very much possession based. I actually like watching this team play. Their transitions more often than not seamless, and they like to play through the lines, and they play with some speed as well.
I'd like to tell the viewers to keep an eye on the man wearing number 10 for Dunbeholden, Rodave Murray. Not so long ago, he was the hottest striker in schoolboy football when he wore the colours of Dintil. And as we see Donovan Ducky somewhere between leaving high school and this point, he's not quite managed to put it all together, but he's some finisher.
Just saw Ducky there, of course, he's in charge of this Vere unit. And of course, Vere not afraid to be without the ball. We see them putting in a really good defensive effort last season. Disciplined unit as well. They've had more time together. And let's see what will become of them this season.
To the point you made, as we see Odette Hamilton having to enforce order early. When they were beaten 4-0 in the semi-final, many people thought it was a misprint in the newspaper. A Vere team being beaten 4-0.
That doesn't happen. Lovely delivery inside, that's headed away, and not the most convincing clearance. Swaby being that target man, running back trying to win possession, but Dunbeholden pretty comfortable with the possession at the moment. McPherson trying to get a touch inside, and McCarthy picks it up
Fabian McCarthy, number 8, another man to keep your eye on for the viewers watching out the team in blue.
McCarthy trying to thread that through. Comes out as far as Pusey with the effort. It's wide of the mark. Clayton Pusey letting fly early in this one, and he didn't miss by much.
No, he didn't, and he approached it as if he wasn't sure that he wanted to take a shot on target. It wasn't closed down, and then decided to try his luck. Look at his approach. Yeah, well, there's another angle which showed you that he took some time to get there and then decided to let fly. The point I was making about Fabian McCarthy, about 3 seasons ago, Donald, when he was playing for the UWI, he was regarded by most coaches, most coaches regarded Fabian McCarthy as the best midfielder in the league, and I can tell you that with certainty based on the coaches that I spoke to off camera. Perhaps they wouldn't want to say that, not to take away confidence from their own players, but he was very highly regarded at the UWI.
Not surprised by that at all. Of course, his partner in the middle of the park, as we take a look at Harold Thomas, who would have had to make that decision to drop Nicoy Christian and put him on the bench, because Christian started much of last season and as I said before, did really very well. But we see where Shakeen Powell is the one who's partnering McCarthy in the middle of the park, and McCarthy plays that one through to Bygrave. Again, not a lot of power behind that one, but he can let fly from time to time. Atafroy Bygrave looking to get his first goal this season.
Yeah, just a little bit, he snatched at that, as you would say. But look, Fabian McCarthy again started that in his own half. A simple change of pace to accelerate away from his marker, and he ran all the way to within 5 yards of the 18-yard box of the Vere team, and then he slipped that pass forward. Yeah, he's a danger man, all right. The man wearing number 8 for the team in blue.
There's Shakeen Powell. Mentioned that he partnered with Christian for much of last season, and now he gets a nod ahead of Christian. Vere United will have some possession in Dunbeholden's half. Now they have a throw.
Almost 5 minutes in. I don't think any of the Vere attacking players have touched the ball yet.
Neil was trying to spread it to one of those attacking players, Ricardo, or rather that was Javier Brown, I believe, over on the far side. It was Trevon Salmon, in fact. So too much on it.
Yeah, so McCarthy also played for Vere United. We need to be accurate and say, and even then, well, wherever he's played in this Premier League, he's looked a really, really classy player. And I have to scratch my head when I say that, you know, he's not really been a fixture from the local players group in the national setup.
Paul sends it across. Pusey on it again. Powell. Pusey. Back to Powell. Quite a partnership between these two so far. Phillips sends this one inside at the back post. It was too high there for Bygrave, and there was a handball there.
Well, Odette Hamilton believing that Neil was fouled inside the box, but you call it right. Dunbeholden extremely comfortable, each man with the ball at their feet. Nobody's trying to keep it for too long, though. It's moving nicely. The passage of the ball is fluid, and Vere content to close down spaces, not to press too high octane in this hot sun too early in the game, but quite enjoying not having much of the ball, the team in yellow and white so far.
Tried to nip one there, Ricardo Dennis, and couldn't quite gather it. Well, Dunbeholden, they're quick in the middle of the park, aren't they? They have possession once more. And there was a late challenge coming in on Fabian McCarthy.
Yeah, Ramon Plummer there just getting his tackle wrong. Saw the ball there to be won and went in hard to try to knock it away. Again, another driving run from McCarthy, just weaving around players almost as if they were training cones.
Now he has to be careful for the rest of the game, Ramon Plummer. because of this challenge, which was late, very late and reckless. Phillips sends this one inside. Oh, the header! Wonderful stuff! That's a beautiful goal by Atafroy Bygrave. Went so high, met the header and guided it into the far corner. And with that, Dunbeholden, they lead Vere United by a goal to nil.
Yeah, a statement of intent in this match early. This is the free kick. Look at it, a wicked looping free kick that drops right on the head of the tall man Bygrave. He climbs high and he met that fully frontal with the forehead. No chance for the goalkeeper. Only had to look at that nestling in the top left-hand corner. Cracking header. A wicked free kick delivery. That's a sweet goal all round.
He knows how to score big goals. Scored arguably the goal of the season last year from roughly the halfway line against Tivoli Gardens. And he has started the campaign here with his head. A fabulous header.
So let's see if Duki makes any tactical adjustments, because his team were willing to invite Dunbeholden to attack them early, confident that they could hold them and then catch them on the counter on the transition. That plan may have to be tweaked because they find themselves 1-0 down so early.
Yeah, the set pieces were always going to be pivotal against this Vere team, because usually it's difficult to break them down in open play. But that really was a good header. It really was from Bygrave.
I'm crediting the header like you, but the free kick was tremendous.
Oh, here's McCarthy again going through. Lost at the third challenge. Was there a foul there? There was.
Yeah, there's just some grace about McCarthy's movement, the way he accelerates with the ball, the change of pace. The change of pace is subtle. As he goes through the gears, you think the ball is there to be won, and he's gone. Been quite elusive for the boys in yellow and white to pick up so far, although he did foul Alton Lewis just now.
Swaby flicking that one, and we really can't get across in time, Plummer.
Barged over by Dyer, it must be said, and he's feeling the pain now, Plummer. Don't think that was a free kick, but that doesn't mean he wasn't hit hard. It was hit very hard by the big man Dyer. As we see, look at the shoulder barge.
He was looking for something. Of course, he was booked earlier, Ramon Plummer.
And I'm surprised he isn't more street smart than he's showing, and I'll tell you why shortly.
Dunbeholden, they go the other way. 2 to aim for up top. Decides to go wide. Pusey on it now. McCarthy and Pusey. Switching the play over to the left-hand side, and the delivery was blocked. Goes behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, here's what I'm talking about, being streetwise. For a player of Ramon Plummer's experience, he should know you have a knock and you want treatment. You need to get back on the field and force the referee to call a halt to proceedings while you get treatment. Your team is playing with 10.
Bailey's delivery inside. Here's another chance. And was there a deflection there? Yep, there was.
Yeah, but I'm saying Vere have been playing with 10 men since the time that Ramon Plummer went down. He should haul himself back on the field and force the referee to stop the game so he can get treatment. The game doesn't go on without him. I did a match at Stets recently, the Ben Francis Cup semi-final, and one of the Froome boys went down with an injury off the field, and he hauled himself back and put himself on the field and then started rolling around. That's what you do.
It's in the textbook, George.
Yes.
That wasn't a bad cross from Bailey and Dave Murray. That was on target, you know. And it was blocked and it went behind for a corner kick. Here it is now. Again at the back post, and the header is over the top again from Bygrave.
Yeah, wanted to hang like Cristiano to direct that ball goalwards. speaking of Cristiano, you should have seen the celebration when he scored the header just now, Donald. He wheeled away and went to the corner flag, where Cristiano does it most of the times, and wheeled his finger, and you know the rest.
Sue. They are finding it difficult to just make that transition. We see that they are utilizing the long balls on a couple of occasions. They have a free kick now though, and I suppose this is where they can really make it count.
Yeah, well, the midfield of here is not working like it is for the Dunbeholden team. Dunbeholden are slick ball-playing defenders out to the back, connecting with ball-playing midfielders, and that's how the ball seamlessly moves upfield. They're having some trouble getting their ball players connected with the game in the right way so far.
Neil's delivery. Handled. Elton Lewis is up there. The ball played inside. Here's a chance, and the keeper is off his line.
No offside.
None indeed.
And they are angry with Ricardo Dennis for seemingly pulling out of the challenge. You should have seen his teammates berating him.
He was avoiding the collision.
Wow. And he's now defending himself vociferously, having an argument with a couple of his teammates who are wondering, why did you go and stop? Why did you go halfway?
I don't think they are challenging him that he didn't get the ball. I think the fact that because the keeper was off his line, it could have been a penalty had he continued his run. Here's a chance for Dunbeholden now with Murray. Went too wide there, and Bygrave committing the foul, and it's going to be a free kick to Vere.
Yeah, the sum total of all of that was that he didn't challenge. He pulled out of the challenge, and you can't do that as a striker. You have to gamble.
You have to be brave. It's amazing how some players would see that as inviting the keeper coming off his line.
Yep.
He stuttered.
Didn't want any part with it. Damien Hyatt is a big man. And maybe was put off.
To be fair.
Yeah, maybe he was put off by the size of the goalkeeper.
And Dennis isn't the biggest player in the world either. Probably could be one of the smallest players in the Premier League, actually. Phillips going on a run and was clipped. It's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden.
Yeah, Dennis in a defensive position. Again, most of the times that you've had cause to call the names of the attacking players for Vere United, they're in a defensive role. They're doing something on the defensive end. That just shows you the dominance of Dunbeholden in this game so far.
Yeah, one of those attacking players in the referee's book already, in Plummer.
Yep. Dennis just getting a stern talking to for something he did on the defensive end inside his own half.
Phillips to deliver. Repelled easily. Again, the ball stabbed forward looking for Murray. Powell couldn't control. Phillips again lobs it. Bailey back to McCarthy. McPherson finding Bailey. 2 to aim for. Wonderfully cut out. Still not clear properly. Phillips trying to win that header. And it's a free kick in position A1, George.
Yeah, there you go. Plummer again. Look at where Plummer is. Plummer should be high up the pitch in the Dunbeholden 18-yard box doing his work. He's just on the edge of his own 18-yard box where he committed the foul. You spoke of the clearance earlier. That was Kevin Graham with that lunging tackle. Look at this. Yeah, that's a foul all day. The knee into the side of his opponent. Dangerous position.
Now who's going to take this one? Powell is there. If Nicoy Christian was on the park, definitely he would have taken this one.
For sure. Looks to be McCarthy's effort based on how he's locked in studious contemplation.
Bygrave is also there. Well, he has moved away now. So here's a free kick for Dunbeholden. Straight into the wall.
McCarthy expected the wall to jump. It didn't. And so it looked rather silly what he ended up doing. It always looks silly when you go low with the kick, expecting the wall to jump and the wall doesn't move.
There is a fine line between silly and spectacular, George.
Quite.
Here is Vere. Swaby collecting this one deep. Couldn't do a lot with it. Vere United, that has been their problem so far this afternoon. That should go out into touch.
Yeah, McCarthy apologizes for overhitting that one to Rodave Murray, but there's so much to admire about what Dunbeholden have been doing so far. They're so slick, so coordinated, ball handlers on their game. McCarthy and Phillips, the frontmen, are also on their game. Bygrave has a goal to his name already. Rodave Murray has been involved. The defenders are comfortable in possession, led by the captain Dara, comfortable building the play from the back. They look slick. They look slick, this team in blue. And if Duki's pre-match comments are anything to go by, Vere look decidedly short of work coming into this first game of the campaign.
Yeah, indeed they do. Another whistle on the play. The thing about Dunbeholden that I like about them is that each player has unique characteristics, especially when they're on the ball. And you can see it when they pass and the movements that they make. Bygrave as the powerful number 9, so to speak, bullying his way through. And of course the silky players in the middle of the park. Here's a chance. Keeper off his line. McCarthy went wide, but play will continue because it's not a head injury. Dunbeholden with a chance there. And here's Phillips. Oh, he should have done so much better. He really should have.
Yep. Wanted. The only thing I can say as the medics come on to attend to poor old Kadeem Davis, looks as if he caught his ankle in the turf when he raced out trying to intercept the ball, but was beaten to it by Fabian McCarthy. I think he was trying to cut across that ball, Donald, to get it to bend. But all that the approach did was cause him to miskick horribly. Yeah, the studs got caught in the turf. I feel that from this distance. Not good for the captain. And look at this now. Yeah, he was trying to cut across. I think he kicked the turf before he actually made connection with the ball. So that was part of the problem with that effort from Phillips.
Well, Davis gets the attention now. Bailey was the one again creating havoc over on that far side.
Yeah, well, Vere United needed this break. They need to. Almost that they need to regroup, but they need to group because they haven't grouped so far.
His goal has made the difference in this one. Jumping high, winning the header, 1-0.
I know you're in love with the header, and I too am in love with the header. That's a cracking header, but I'm telling you, the delivery was on point. It arced over those defending nearest to the goalkeeper's first post. And then he really snapped that neck into it. Yeah, that was a pretty goal.
Let's hope Kadeem Davis can continue and that he's all right. The players will actually take the water break, the official one, I believe, as Davis gets some more treatment on his ankle.
a good time as well. Harold Thomas can sit. I almost said that he can sit chilly, but you can't sit chilly in this weather.
No, you can't.
But he's more comfortable with the two coaches for obvious reasons. He has problems. The thing is this: Vere United just haven't played so far. There's nobody in a white shirt who looks comfortable in possession. Absolutely nobody. So it's harum scarum from them. It's uncoordinated. Not quite sure what their attacking approach is. We can see what they want to do defensively. They want to invite the pressure, win the ball back, and then break. But they haven't got many opportunities to do so, given how Dunbeholden have been moving the ball. While for the Dunbeholden team, they've just looked slick. Very, very agile, very easy on the eye. They have that 1-goal lead. They were confident before. They're brimming with it right at this time.
I'm just wondering if he'll be able to continue Kadeem Davis. They've been treating him for quite a while. There have been quite a few set pieces in this game so far, and I mentioned that Vere would really have to utilize the ones that they do get, because in open play they haven't shown a lot of imagination, let's say.
Not at all, and they've shown things. Well, they haven't shown things more basic than imagination. So there's a lot to not like about this, the opening few minutes from Vere in this Premier League season, and he can't be happy. Knowing him, must be very unhappy with what he's seen so far.
Seems as if Kadeem Davis will be okay to continue. He's walking on it, so that's obviously a good sign. But here the PR team for this Mona AstroTurf will have to now go into overtime based on what's been happening over the last season or so, and with the latest injury to Kadeem Davis. Well, again,
you know, I know a lot has been said about the field, and the players have the unique difficulty of playing on it. We commentate about them playing on it, but I'm telling you, I much prefer this to a lot of what was offered up at Premier League grounds. Indeed. As host venues. I'm telling you that. I was saying to Lance yesterday, and he agreed, that there were some games we saw last season. There's an injury in the back for Vere. Looks like another ankle injury. Is that Ricardo Dennis? Yes, it's Ricardo Campbell.
Yep,
yeah, Ricardo Campbell.
The skipper.
Yeah, I was saying, there must have been an off-the-ball incident, because Odette Hamilton has come near side to talk to the assistant on our side of the field, Donald. So it may have been something off the ball that she's being advised about. Let's see if she takes any action. Yes, she goes for the yellow card, and Bygrave gets it. He did something off the ball that also missed both of us, but the assistant eagle-eyed, and seeing it, he told Odette Hamilton what happened, and she puts Bygrave in the book.
Yep, so just to confirm that yellow card to the striker and the goal scorer in this one.
Yellow card
Adefroy Bygrave.
Yeah, I was saying to you that there are some games we saw last season, which, you know, the games it was hard going for both teams. But I'm telling you, if those games were played on some of these home fields, it would have been awful to watch on TV. And the surface here has its challenges, but it makes the football more presentable on the screen. And I think the game flows better on a surface like this. It was just the follow through from the striker was challenging for the ball, but she felt that perhaps you could have pulled out because the ball was gone. And yeah.
Would the assistant referee, would he have advised her to show the yellow card or just tell her the incident?
No, because that's purely her discretion. That's purely in her gift.
Even though she didn't see it?
Yes, no. So he would describe that he went through and followed through with the studs, and she said, "Okay, thank you." Follow through with the studs. That's a booking.
Okay. Dunbeholden with majority of the possession so far at 61%, and here they are on the ball with Bailey doing well to recover. McCarthy captures it, finding McPherson now. Campbell to McPherson, or Powell to McPherson. There's a whistle on the play once more. A yellow card will come out, and it's shown to Bailey over on that far side.
Two Vere men writhing in pain on the floor. Not sure if he caught both of them, including Ramon Plummer, who's had more than his fair share of knocks so far in this game.
No, it wasn't Bailey, it was Powell, who is in the referee's book, Shaquem Powell. There he is, the number 21. So 3 yellow cards being flashed so far in this game.
Well, I tell you what, Odette Hamilton has booked the coach of the Dunbeholden team, Harold Thomas, who was protesting the showing of the yellow card to Powell just now, and she went over to him, had some words with him, and then he continued remonstrating with her, and she took his name.
First, number 21. Shaquem Powell in the 28th minute, and also Coach Harold Thomas, also in the 28th minute. Shaquem Powell.
So frustration all around. Both coaches not happy with proceedings for Harold Thomas. Recent happenings. Swaby, lovely ball played through, the shot is saved, and it was Neil making that run inside the box, and Hyatt moving to his left, powering it around the post.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move. Look at Swaby just putting his studs on the ball and waiting for Neil's run to be advanced enough for him to get the return pass in a good position. Very good from the big man. Neil always under pressure. Did well to get the shot off, actually.
Corner kick to Vere. Well, that was poor.
Yep.
Bygrave. Bygrave, I suppose he has to be careful there. Was there a hand in the face? Bygrave, of course, pleading his innocence.
Nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Bygrave was protecting himself, extending his long arms to ensure that his opponent didn't crash into him, Javier Brown.
Tall people problems, George.
Yes, sir.
Campbell, well. Graham. Murray plays it back to his defender. They look easy at the back. Dunbeholden, Dua. Pusey. Nicely done.
Yeah, has to be called back because the referee stopped the pass. Head injury. I was about to say to you that the recent passage we had where we had yellow cards, we had stoppages, we had the injuries, it wasn't good for Dunbeholden, but it was good for Vere because it was checking the Dunbeholden momentum, and it was perhaps giving the Vere boys a chance to really get to grips with this game. Dave Murray went to close down, and his face getting in the way of the ball. That's why the referee called a halt to proceedings.
So Dunbeholden down to 10 players for the moment. But here they come forward to McCarthy, going on a run. Sends it up wide to Bygrave. He can't shoot from there. That's a wonderful block.
Yeah, but Bygrave took 6 years to make up his mind to take that shot, allowing Ricardo Campbell the time, giving him the time and space to slide through and effect the block. But look at McCarthy's run once again. Look at him. Bygrave is taking too long to make up his mind, man.
Well, he was fine. Murray got back up quickly to recover. Pusey, McCarthy, Powell, now McPherson.
Yeah, tried to try to beat this man with a change of pace, but doesn't have that smoother change of pace. It's a perhaps as a Toyota change of pace. He needed a Porsche change of pace.
You've been in a Porsche before?
Several times, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. At the wheel as well. And not in the display car or the showroom floor either.
Of course.
On the highway, my friend.
Copy.
Next time I'll take you along.
Thank you. I wouldn't mind being at Porsche as well.
There you go, sir.
Murray. Pusey. Powell. Murray. McCarthy. Nicely done.
Class.
Ball dinked over the top. Wanted to get something on it. Bygrave, and another attempt coming in from Bailey. Wide of the mark.
That was another chance because that ball dropped over Bygrave's shoulder. He was seeing it, knew where it was dropping, but somehow couldn't coordinate his body to get a shot on target. Look at this ball from Powell. Over the top. Yeah, Bygrave ought to have done better. A rather ungainly attempt by him. And then Bailey's effort, wild.
The ball was going over his shoulder. I wonder if the sun was in his eye for a moment as he tried to pluck that out of the air for Bygrave. Pusey. He's lost his footing on a couple of occasions, Phillips.
We need to adjust his boots, but man, this Dunbeholden team now look really slick, I must say. I've said that a few times so far this game. I think I'm going to have to say it again. They really look good. The ball just moves with ease. Nobody falls in love with the ball and wants to keep it for too long.
Powell. Pusey on it. Wonderful stuff. It's Rodave Murray, and really should have done better because he had the time and space to.
And he had 3 supporting runners to his left, and even a man to his right he could have gone to. So he had options. Decided early that he was going for the effort, but wound up the shot so much he ended up going under and lifting the ball high.
Ducky probably thinking that he needs some ball players.
Yeah, Ducky probably needs half-time, Donald. Needs half-time to really get into this team. Will really get at them, I'm suspecting, at half-time if it stays like this, because so far they haven't played any football.
Yeah, man, Dunbeholden, they've had most of the ball, 62% so far, with about 10 minutes to go.
Ramon Plummer on the receiving end of another heavy challenge, writhing in pain over there on the far side. This has been the feature of his contribution so far, getting heavy knocks. And yeah, barged into by McPherson. McPherson has a big frame. Plummer looks to be down for the count.
Since he's been in the referee's book, that yellow card in the 7th minute, I believe, he has been on the receiving end of some harsh challenges.
3 of them by my count.
You'd almost think it was karma.
Yeah. The thing is this though, I don't know. It's the first game of the season, so you can't be overly harsh. And then it's a Donovan Lucky team, so you know that the direction that they get is high quality. But I'm not quite sure, as we see Harold Thomas in conversation with his number 9 Phillips, not quite sure the frame of mind was right for the Vere team coming in. Simple thing, a player gets injured, that's Plummer, just behind the goal line, and you stay off the field and ride in agony while the game is continuing without you. It's basic. You go on the field and force a stoppage. That to me suggests that it's a player not thinking. The game awareness, not what is required. Disappointing Coach Duki and disappointing his teammates.
There's a free kick. Again, easily handled. They've been subpar, the free kicks from Vere.
Most things from Vere have been subpar, even though they're only 1-0 down.
Speaking of subpar, can Bailey keep it in? No, he can't.
Yeah.
They gave up possession a little bit too easily there, Vere. Let's see what they can do with this possession. Lewis. Again, poor. Again, the long ball, looking for Ricardo Dennis. Sean Duar doing enough.
Yeah, they're not getting him on the ball enough, Ricardo Dennis. Neither are they getting Neil on the ball enough. When those two have possession, it looks as if Vere can create. But they've been distinctly second best so far.
Brown trying to switch the play. Bailey saw it, just need to get by a second challenge, couldn't. Across there was Ricardo Campbell, who's done well so far this afternoon. And here they come again, Vere. Swaby had to collect that one deep. What can Vere do with this possession? Lewis. Neil. Lewis from distance over the top.
He gets polite applause from his own bench and from a member of his coaching staff. But there were men forward, but not much on in terms of passing options, so he decided to try his luck. A mark of good coaches, Donald, is that their teams rarely put bad halves together back to back. So you'd expect that Vere won't be anywhere near this bad in the second half as they've been this first half. And that's because we know Donovan Duki is a good coach.
Have you seen Manchester United recently?
Notice I said good coach.
Wow.
Okay. A good coach rarely has his team putting together back-to-back halves that are bad. You aren't listening properly. I said good coaches.
So, free kick to Dunbeholden. 5 minutes to go before the halftime interval. They'd love to get a second goal here, Dunbeholden. The passing game has been on point. Referee says play on until he couldn't.
Yeah, I heard that kick from here. That was a hefty kick into the ankle of Alton Lewis by Phillips, who was fighting to regain his footing and possession, and yeah, clatter. Well, just above the ankle.
Yeah, the shin was there to protect him, so didn't hurt too badly. Well, the shit guard, I should say, not the shin.
I thought about it and then I left it alone.
Nice ball to Swaby, and a wonderful first touch too. Trying to slide that one through was unsuccessful, and now it'll go the other way. This is Murray. has Bygrave ahead of him. Murray going to the byline and then just running out of real estate. Those
wins a corner.
Yeah, he does win a corner.
That was good defending though, because I thought Murray was gone. But by the time he got into the 18-yard box, there were two Vere men attending to him. They closed down the space quickly and got back to defend.
I thought he took too long though.
Yes.
The pass was on initially for Bygrave at the far post too, and he was waiting.
Yes, it was.
Phillips to deliver. Oh, that's heavy.
It bent out of play, so it's a goal kick.
Disappointing in the end there. Dunbeholden still leading by a goal to nil with 3 minutes to go in the half.
But they've not been as dominant as before that
water break.
Yes, that Kadimi Davis injury and the extended water break, and the disruptions to play immediately after that with the bookings and the injuries. So their momentum has just been checked somewhat.
Probably they'll welcome halftime as well.
Yeah, they need the breather as well. They've gone through a lot of running, especially this man in the possession of Pusey.
Yep. Who turns it inside to Powell. McCarthy has been doing a lot of running as well.
Yeah, he's been the class player in the park so far, man.
Here's McPherson. Bygrave collecting that. It was a little bit too short, but he was impeded. And so they'll get a free kick, Dunbeholden.
Ultra aggressive Kevin Graham defending there for Vere United. Well travelled. Tivoli Gardens, Mount Pleasant, among his recent clubs.
Powell digs that one inside and Bailey goes down under the challenge. He was looking for a call there, a penalty. Did he go down too easily?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, he tripped. He tripped and felt that he was pushed or pulled it down, but nah. Francois Subi hasn't had much service, and so he's had to be trying to turn provider, dropping back near to his half line to pick up possession there from the defenders and try to orchestrate the Vere attack.
Usually when you see a striker doing that, it means someone in midfield not doing their job.
For sure. And we have remarked that the Vere midfield is there in name only. No impact on the game so far. If this were a multiple choice exam, Donald, you'd say that Vere have messed up the first 15.
Here's McCarthy. He's trying to go through a body of players there. McCarthy gets it again and was harassed. Pusey. 4 to aim for inside the box.
Look at the reaction. Bailey acknowledges the effort, gives him polite applause. Bygrave looks at him with scorn.
Because Bygrave knows what he can deliver, having scored already.
Just indicated.
Phillips must be operating on solar. He's been everywhere. Look at him. He was the one who closed down that attempted clearance out of the fence from Vere United, which resulted in the throw to his team. Not even the Energizer Bunny in these conditions will be working as hard as Demario Phillips for Dunbeholden, the man wearing number 9.
McPherson has it and gives it back to his skipper, Dyer. McCarthy. Oh, that's wonderfully done. Really a class act. Pass should have been better from Phillips though, but Murray picks it up and McCarthy sends it back out wide to Pusey. Can he put in a better cross this time? Well, it was better, but still below par.
Yeah, met with derision again from Bygrave, asking him what the hell was that. And there are several arguments among the Vere players down now. I've been noticing that for the past few minutes, which in itself is not a bad sign. It suggests that they're trying to coax better out of each other. And I don't have a problem with that. Swaby and his big frame barging the smaller Dave Murray to one side.
And then helping him up.
Sportsmanship.
Of course. They take it quickly. Phillips, again a wonderful delivery inside. Bailey was trying to get there. McPherson looking to retrieve for Dunbeholden, but couldn't quite get there. And that wasn't the best clearance at all. And there they've given up another free kick.
Yeah, Powell kicked in the face by Javier Brown.
His best delivery of 3. And just could not find Bailey. And yeah, Powell receiving a boot to the face.
Purely accidental though. So no action taken by the referee.
So, free kick to Dunbeholden on the stroke of half time here. 5 players, make that 6 players for Dunbeholden inside the box. This one sent inside and Swaby is back there doing enough.
Yeah, off Swaby's dome.
That's the end of the first half. Dunbeholden, they've been really good in this one. And that man's header early in this contest, the difference between the two teams. Atafor Bygrave getting his first this season. And Fabian McCarthy, he has been pulling the strings in the middle of the park. Ricardo Dennis hasn't really been up to the time in this first half. But they will have to regroup. Vere United. After 45 minutes, it's Dunbeholden 1, Vere United 0. Dunbeholden with the lead in this fixture, their opening fixture in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. At deploy Bygrave with the header there, and a wonderful goal to give Donovan Ducky and his team a headache at the halftime interval here. 1-0 the score. Bygrave's goal coming in the 8th minute of play, and Vere United, they have a lot of work to do. They were doing a lot of the running, Dunbeholden, in this first half, and here's Pugh's effort that wasn't too far off the mark. Was just driven wide there. McCarthy making himself busy in the middle of the park. And Phillips is delivering inside, and Bygrave's header, a well-placed one. It was a wonderful ball from Phillips, and Bygrave just doing the rest from just outside the 6-yard box. And the celebration to match as well. And with that, Dunbeholden went ahead. Ball played through the middle of the park. Ricardo Dennis couldn't quite get there, putting out of the run, and then McCarthy going out wide. And Kadeem Davis was on the turf for a while, but Dunbeholden couldn't make it count. Goalkeeper still on the edge of the 18-yard box, and then the resulting effort is wide of the target, and a disappointment there for Dunbeholden. So at the halftime interval, Vere United with 3 shots to on target, Dunbeholden with 13 shots, 8 of which were on target. They've been more physical as well, committing 11 fouls. Vere United with 7, and a couple of yellow cards for Dunbeholden, 1 to Vere United. And you can see that Dunbeholden with the majority of the possession at 62%. Of course, there was a lot of action on the opening day in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. Let's take a look back at the goals yesterday.
From the kickoff, Cavalier had shown their intentions. William Price had a good game in goal for Arnett Gardens. Cavalier had several moments here in this fixture. This one, Kyle Ming on the far post, failing to steer this one in, unchallenged. Another effort here, Dwayne Atkinson for Cavalier hitting the crossbar. William Price in goal for Arnett, scrambling to keep it out. Another crossbar struck by Colin Anderson. Arnett had their moments. Cephas with a tremendous right-footed strike, but Jamie White gets in the way. Atkinson, brilliant save by William Price, diving full length to his left to keep that one out. And there's Tope's headed goal, just steering that one in from the corner. No Arnett Gardens player able to stop the 6'5" defender. And this was the Cavalier go-ahead goal, which they kept until stoppage time. Brilliant build-up here for Arnett. Fabian Reed coming on as a late substitute. Tope getting in the way and deflecting it behind for a corner. Arnett again here on attack. And Willis with a left-footed strike. He kicks well with both feet, Shivani Willis. And he pumped that one in. Jaden White probably unsighted by a cluster of players in front of him, had no chance, and that was the Arnett equalizer in stoppage time. But just when we thought that's how it would have ended, here comes Shanil Thomas. Guthrie challenging, but doesn't cut the angle well enough, and a fierce right-footed strike beats Price on his near post. Well, Price is on his near post, but the ball beat his right hand. And that was a fine strike by the substitute, Shanil Thomas, for Cavalier. That was on 96 minutes. So Cavalier coming up with a victory by 2-1 and getting a fighting win against their old rivals, Arnett Gardens.
Well, it was a championship performance. I look at it, they did perform well. The Arnett Gardens get back 1-1, and they show that we could still got a notch up more. So yeah. It was well done.
Well, of course, we see every day on the training ground what we're capable of. And when we see what we saw today, we saw some moments of it, but there's definitely a lot more that we can bring.
Daniel Parchment, the man with the whistle this afternoon. And Benbow on the attack down the left side. Step overs galore. Inside, and the shot from James blocked by Tummins. Binns with a left-footed free kick that goes wide as well. So Waterhouse rampant early in this fixture. James again, and Tummins gets in the way in goal for the Montego Bay United team. Moby had some moments of their own as well. Matali Grant with a fabulous strike from distance. Just turning and whipping the shot on goal, and Kimar Foster had to be alert in goal for the Waterhouse team. And again, Waterhouse under pressure as Moby came alive. Alric Ati, the left-footed strike, blocked by the goalkeeper. Shepherd takes the rebound but steers it wide. Waterhouse again here through Benbow, crashes this one to the near post, and Tummins is in the way. Again, there's Barton, long ball forward. The goalkeeper Foster comes out, the deflection onto Alric Ati, who has a pretty simple chance to steer this one in goal, and somehow steers it over the bar. And here's the red card to Ewan Barton, attempting the overhead kick with Damien Binns right there with him. Referee Daniel Parchment ruling it as reckless, and the number 9 shown the red card. Montego Bay United against the odds would take the lead here. Waterhouse initially defending the corner, whipped back inside, and Giovanni Reid with an expertly taken right-footed strike, just tearing the ball past Kimar Foster and pulling Montego Bay United in front in this fixture. Very, very soon after that, an appeal for a penalty here, no call for Devroy Gray. But the penalty will come now because Ricardo Thomas is tripped as he went for the ball. And young Andre Fletcher, left-footed, strikes the ball powerfully past Tummins, and drawing Waterhouse level at 1-1. Waterhouse going for the winner. The ball whipped inside here by Ricardo Thomas, and Devroy Gray, the super sub, meets it and steers the ball in with the outside of his left boot. Smartly taken goal, and Waterhouse back in front here by 2-1 after they were trailing early in the second half. Devroy Gray gets his first strike of the new season. The former Tivoli Gardens man, and a fighting effort here from Montego Bay United.
Yeah, so disappointed for the players first and foremost. I think the shift they've put in was commendable today. We couldn't ask for any more. They're basically a new team coming together. It's a good showing. If I showed you the game we played last week Wednesday, then this is 200 times better than it was. So disappointing that we didn't manage to get something. Congratulations to Waterhouse for the victory, but we have work to do and we'll be back on the field tomorrow.
I think the performance was okay from us. The first 20 minutes or so, we could have been 2-0 up. Cardell Bembo went on the wing, square. Javon James, simple tap in. Cardell Bembo again. Javon James, a shot, keeper save. Probably at the end of the first half, it could have been 4-0 up for us if we had converted our chances.
So we're back at the UEJFF Captain Horsburgh Centre of Excellence for the first game of the doubleheader in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital. 1-0 the score, Dunbeholden over Vere United. And George Davis is still with me. And Vere, they really didn't turn up to the party in the first half. They would have to change their disposition and their play as well for the second in order to get back in this one.
Yeah, their most senior player, Francois Swebe, leading the on-field powwow that the team just had. They've dispersed now, but yeah, I'm sure that following the talk that Donovan Duki would have led in the dressing room, he's now depending on his senior players to really impart the direction that the team is to take and to lead the direction that the team is to take. Change here being made at halftime. Powell got through a lot of work in the first half, got booked as well, making way for Nicoy Christian. And if Nicoy Christian is on form, Donald, then Vere will be in for more headache in this second half, greater than they had in the first 45 minutes.
Wasn't on the score sheet last season, Nicoy Christian, but he did provide a few assists, 3 I believe, in that season, and he's hoping to make a difference once again in the opening game for Dunbeholden this season. And we're off for the second half. It's Vere United on the ball, looking to give a response, as they didn't do a lot in that first half, to be fair. And Dunbeholden, they showed a lot of quality in that opening stanza of this fixture. And right now, just a matter of booting that one into touch for a throw-in and clearing their lines through their skipper, Shaquille Dyer. They would want to respond early if they are to have any chance of winning this game, Vere United.
Dennis disgusted he didn't get the call for the corner kick, as we see a man gone down in the Dunbeholden box. Maybe Phillips was involved in a tough challenge just now and may have come off second best. And the Dunbeholden boys are having a word with the assistant on this near side, as we see Harold Thomas. He was booked in the first half, remember. The Dunbeholden boys, Donald, are having a few words with the assistant on this near side to say, because they thought that the incident that caused Phillips to be laid out on the turf, that it was a foul that he should have informed the referee about.
What is getting the attention now?
I think it was a challenge on Dennis that he went in, and perhaps they're saying that Dennis's arms came up at an unnatural level. And yeah, he's having some strong words for the assistant on that far side still. The assistant is saying, well, there was nothing in it.
So the play will restart. Well, Murray allowed the ball to hit him.
Yeah.
And he's feeling the consequences. This is now Bailey. Murray making a run. Bailey can't find him. Here's Vere. Mess up. Didn't see a lot of him in that first half. Swaby.
Beautiful play.
Wonderfully done. Salmon. Forced to go back. And that wasn't the best delivery to the edge of the box. Christian getting his first touch, trying to set free Bygrave. Couldn't.
Kevin Graham there with that bad effort from defense.
Christian picks it up, setting up Bygrave, looking for a second. Bygrave, it's wide of the mark. He was under some pressure and seemed to have been labouring to get there, George, and then the shot wasn't accurate.
Yeah, in the end he ended up stretching for it, reaching for it. Look at him being closed down all the time by Ricardo Campbell, and the presence of the big defender putting him off.
Oh, Swaby has done some excellent work And now the ball delivered inside and went behind everyone there. There's an infringement that wasn't necessary at all. And free kick in a dangerous position for Vere.
Yeah, well, the challenge had to be made, Donald, so maybe we are disagreeing slightly there. But I thought the use of his body by Plummer to make sure that he won this free kick. Pusey was going, he had to challenge. And cleverly done by Plummer to just wedge his body between Pusey and the ball, knowing that any contact would result in a foul.
So free kick to Vere United. Number of candidates behind this one. I'm wondering who's favoured to take it.
Maybe Plummer.
Yeah, Ramon Plummer, the number 11.
Well, no, Dennis looks to have sent everybody away.
Yep. 25 meters out for Ricardo Dennis into the wall. And the clearance made before Salmon could get there. And now Bailey will pick it up. And they can counter. Oh, that wasn't the best ball forward from Kimoni Bailey. Bygrave takes up the mantle. And Dunbeholden will recycle possession.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've given it up. It's Swaby. Swaby trying to utilize his strength there. And running out of room in the end.
Yeah, the good thing for Dyer is that he knew that the one man on the pitch who couldn't beat him for pace was Francois Swaby. So it wasn't put off when Swaby put his head down and tried to build up a head of steam dribbling into the 18-yard box. Knew he just had to shadow him, just shepherd him away from a central striking position. And then the big man running out of ideas and options, trying to do what he could only do competently several years ago. That's not his game, Francois Swaby. Has gifts. Dribbling like that, not one of them.
Here they come again, Vere. And too much on it.
Yeah, enterprising though from Plummer. That's the most incisive dribble he's made all game, and it's taken him 51 minutes plus to produce it. And at the end of it, the pass, much too heavy. But good signs from the man wearing number 11 for Vere. I was remarking to you, Donald, that so far in the second half, Dunbeholden have yet to hit that passing rhythm that they hit with such regularity in the first, in the opening half. We haven't seen McCarthy on the ball just yet.
But now Murray's on it. What a wonderful take that is for Dave Murray. Trying to set up Bygrave at the edge of the box, and the clearance was made.
Yeah, Kevin Graham there right on point, almost on Bygrave's bootlaces to steer that one behind and allow his defense to reset. Well, it went out for a throw actually. I thought it was a corner kick.
Phillips. McCarthy. Robbed, but will recover. Well, that was just poor, really, from Sean Dewar.
As I noted, there were signs coming up to half-time that Dunbeholden's stranglehold on the game was loosening.
Neil couldn't find Swaby. Salmon's effort. Still a chance, and it's buried. They're back in the contest. Vere United, and it was Neil on hand to blast that in. And what do you know, the team from Clarendon, they make it 1-1.
Yeah, well, one ex-Arnott Gardens man firing past another ex-Arnott Gardens man. And I was saying it, Donald, that so far in the second half, Vere have looked spirited. They've looked much better than spirited. They've looked like a cohesive football team. And that Dunbeholden's stranglehold on this game was getting a bit loose as halftime drew near. And they haven't really reported yet in the second half, almost as if Harold Thomas's team is still in the dressing room, Donovan Duke's team came out firing. The team talk led by Francois Swaby. He was involved in the scramble, which gave the opportunity to Neil to blast home. 1-1, it's game on. Meanwhile, Hyatt is laid out in his 18-yard box needing treatment.
Funny enough, you mentioned the Arnett Gans connection. Hyatt actually provided the assist there.
There you go.
Not sure where his positioning was on that occasion, Hyatt, but in trying to recover, he laid on a platter for the onrushing Neil to bury.
Yeah, but it was, again, it was the pressure on the ball. Swaby, Hyatt a big man, Swaby also a big man, two big men rumbling, and perhaps that's what put Hyatt or threw Hyatt off. Caused him to be thinking about perhaps self-preservation when he should have only been focused on handling competently. Didn't handle competently. And that's how the ball broke for Neil to thrash home.
Ronaldinho Small warming up on the touchline in case he's needed.
Ronaldinho, a goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Okay.
A skillful one, probably. You think he had aspirations to be anything else?
I think the parents knew they were getting a boy, and perhaps dad said, you know, he's going to be a footballer, I'm going to name him Ronaldinho. And then the lad came out and took a liking for goalkeeping, making his father look silly. But he's still a footballer, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Hoping to get in on the action, Ronaldinho Small.
But you know, I get, well, not angry, but I'm put out by people who love to talk about, oh, you know, this player has experience, that player has experience, without translating for the viewer what experience means in practical terms. What experience means in practical terms is that the benefit of you having had repeated know-how in a particular situation, dealing with a particular set of circumstances, means that when there are difficulties, you can draw on that to begin to apply the remedy to whatever problem is assailing yourself or your team or your group. And that's what people like Swaby have brought out so far in the second half of the year, even though it's still early in the second half. But as I noted down, before the kickoff of the second half, he was the one leading the team talk, doing the cheerleading, geeing up the boys, saying, you know, let's go, it's only 1-0, it's half-time, there's a half of football left, let's go win the second half in the way that we lost the first half, let's go and win the second half. It has to be led by players like that who've been here, who've done it. And Vere have worked themselves back in the game, and some way, Dunbeholden just not as cohesive. This is what happens. So Neil drives at the defense. Bad giveaway there. And it works itself to Solomon. The cross comes in, look at his handling. And again, it was because of the frame of Swaby in his eye line, Donald. Hyatt was put off by Swaby charging at him to get on the end of this cross. And the ball breaks bubbles around, and Neil cleans up the mess, sweeping in that right-footed shot.
And with that, the equalizer came. And Vere back level in this contest. The action resumes now, and Vere United will be more confident. Let's see if they continue to show the ambition that we don't often see. They are usually quite reserved, George.
Yep. But take it back to the first half, Donald, when Ricardo Dennis didn't want to get involved in a 50-50 challenge with Hyatt.
Ball over the top. Dennis. It is going to be a free kick. Is it?
Looks tough. Yeah. Right. So Dennis didn't want to get involved in a 50-50 with Hyatt, and Hyatt was put off by the sight of an equally big man coming at him. So you can't blame the small man for not wanting to go crashing into a big man. Neil is down, the goal scorer, with an injury, holding the midriff. And a scrappy start to the second half in some ways. Vere won't mind, especially because they're level on the scoreboard.
Yep. Punctuated by stoppages this second half so far. And Neil getting some attention from off the bench. We're approaching the hour mark in this contest. Approaching 15 minutes in the second half. It seems as if we've just seen 3 playing minutes in the second half. Not a lot of action on the ball. There was some discussion as to whether football should be treated like basketball in terms of judging the time.
Yeah.
And I was never a fan of it. But the argument for it was that there'll be more action, so to speak, for the fans to enjoy if play was stopped and if the clock was stopped.
Which of your American friends told you that? Must be an American.
Bygrave swinging this one inside, and the whistle goes. It's going to be a free kick to Vere.
Was he offside or did he commit a foul? Because I didn't see the assistant's flag go up for offside.
I think it was a push.
Okay. Yeah, push in the back of Campbell it may have been. Davis seems to have gotten over that ankle knock he took early in the first half, the goalkeeper for Vere. He's even resumed kicking duties. That's a good sign for him.
And then he did a limp after he kicked it, so probably not 100% recovered. He's still favouring it. Speaking of American friends, it's Martin Luther King Day, which is a holiday in the United States.
Yep. But not many people are enjoying this holiday weekend, well, the holiday weekend leading into this Monday because of snowstorms in several parts of the US. Saw some parts that have been frozen over. Can't believe some of those places are as white as they are right now.
Challenge coming in, and it's a free kick to Dunbeholden after all of that.
Yeah, but somehow Dunbeholden can't find the stride that worked for them. This is the incident. Pusey, and just trying to nip in behind him was Ricardo Messam. Yeah, but it's just not working for Dunbeholden so far. The midfield, the defense was working like clockwork. The ball movement slick, assured. Nothing of the kind so far in the second half.
Christian, and the keeper is off his line. Bailey couldn't quite get there. Kimoni Bailey. Now it goes the other way and trying to cut inside Ricardo Messam.
Did well with the ball control. Is it fair to say Vere are the dominant team in the second half? Not least because
too strong
of
a
their
word.
Goal. Is it fair to say they've been better than Dunbeholden?
Yes, they have
in the second half. Okay. So that would make them dominant because there are only 2 teams playing, correct?
That would make them better.
There you go. Exactly. So if they're better than their opponents...
So you can be 51% and be dominant?
No. I didn't say that they're dominating the game. I say they're the dominant team.
Point taken.
All right.
Phillips goes to the turf again. Yeah, they're just not clicking in the second half, Dunbeholden.
They're still in the dressing room. In the first half, they were comfortable just playing. Once the ball was theirs, they would play out of defense. Now it's a long ball, almost as if they're anxious to get that lead back, to go for that second goal, rather than to just play and let the game develop. Let the situation arise for the goal to come from.
They've given up the ball, and Vere will try and make the transition now into Dunbeholden's half.
Some simple things. In the first half, Ramon Prober didn't beat a man in blue with a dribble. And so far in the second half, he's done that several times. One coach's team talk has lifted his team. Harold Thomas's team talk looking distinctly flat so far based on how his boys have played.
No, Rashid. Shoot! Come for the ball side and check the shoot. Yo, come up. Go on.
Christian bounced off the ball. It goes the other way now. Miss him losing it. Probably they can make use of this situation now with Murray. Murray attacking the space. Here's Bailey. Bygrave. Pusey's effort is blocked. Lewis there on the far side. Finally making the clearance.
Swaby loses his boot.
And with that, Vere lost an opportunity. Dunbeholden again. Phillips. McPherson now, Romario McPherson. That's a wonderful delivery, you know.
I'm trying to pick up if Ricardo Campbell let it run or he went for the header but missed. Because I'm not sure he knew who was behind him, if there was a man in blue over his shoulder. This is the cross into a good area. I think he may have let that run, you know, which was a very dangerous thing to do. Meanwhile, injury to Messam on this near side.
Just to eat up more time. The magic spray is on. Here's Donovan Ducky.
Yeah, with a face like thunder. I'm sure still seething from what his team gave him in the first half.
He doesn't forget.
No.
Oh, that Hamilton probably contemplating
water break, she says.
Yeah. So the teams will refresh themselves. That's the official water break for the second half. There have been quite a few stoppages in the second half, but Vere United, they're back in the contest, courtesy of an equalizer from Lamar Neal. Bygrave, of course, had opened the scoring. Seemed as if it was a long time ago in the first half for Dunbeholden.
Well, it's a strange one. Things that Dunbeholden was doing, well, things that they were doing with regularity in the first half. It's just been a struggle to get it going in the second half. And the personal is the same. Well, they made one change. Powell went off and Christian came in at the break, which was supposed to have been an upgrade, Donald.
Yeah.
But like a bottle of soda that has lost its fizz, so has the fizz gone from the Dunbeholden team. Nobody seems to want the ball, seems to want to get on the ball anymore. McCarthy not dictating the play as he was for the majority of the first half. Harold Thomas needs to get his team playing once again. Need to get this momentum going.
1-1 in unique circumstances, of course, the Premier League being played in because of this COVID-19 pandemic. And of course the thermometry and disinfection machine very much operational for players and officials. And George Davis checked it out.
Sunday, the officials coming through the machine. That was me. So the Arnett Gardens boys coming through yesterday. You have to do a 360 right there at the front. That's where the mist then does its work to disinfect you. So as it says on the tin, thermometry and disinfection, you encounter the thermometer first at the first point in, extend the palm, read the temperature, then you go for the disinfection, and then you're out. So the authorities, in concert with Connect Services responsible for that machine, making sure that the equipment is here to assist the officials ensure that persons have the right temperature to compete and that they have some disinfection as well.
So the action resumes here post water break. Trying to set Bailey free. Salmon was in the way. Neil with a turn, looking for an outlet. Just dinks that one inside the box, and Swaby couldn't get there. Dunbeholden, will they ever find back their rhythm in this second half? Christian plays down for Vere. Christian, his pass couldn't get by Salmon.
Neil is the one down for Vere United. Almost said Neil is the one down for Arnett Gardens, but he's no longer with that club.
Phillips sends it out wide. Pusey on it now. Back to Phillips. Back to Pusey. Phillips.
The Vere boys very upset that Mount Pleasant, that the Dunbeholden team did not put the ball into touch so Neil could get treatment. But when will players realize that that's not the prerogative of your opponents, that's the referee's call and the referee's call alone. So Kevin Graham especially was very, very upset that Dunbeholden kept playing the ball when Neil had this problem.
And again, it had nothing to do with a coming together, a collision, a foul.
He had an issue in the first half, remember, close to the interval. And they brought the stretcher on then. He didn't need to use it and doesn't need to use it this time. That's cramp. When you're walking on your heels like that, Donald, as a former athlete, I can tell you something you would know nothing about. That's what athletes do when they have cramps in their calves or in their thighs. So
I was busy being bright, George. That's the issue.
Oh, so you went to 3 World Debating Championships as well? I didn't know that. I thought I was the one who did that. But go carry on with being bright, Donald. Carry on.
Well, I know what a calf is, so it's fine.
Carry on with being bright.
There's going to be another change.
Yes, sir.
Made by Dunbeholden here, and Dave Murray.
Frankly, Donald, this change could have been any one of the frontmen because all of the attackers for Dunbeholden in this half have seemed to be out of gas. And we did comment in the first half that the question was, could Dunbeholden sustain the pace at which they were playing, because they really played some good football for the first 30-36 minutes of the contest, and we knew it would be a sapping exercise. More on that later.
Speaking of pace, here's Christian. Can strike it, decides against it, and then lost his footing. The flag went up for offside. The referee hasn't seen it as yet, and now he's being acknowledged.
Odette Hamilton thought it was a foul, but the referee, the assistant indicated to her that no, it was offside. He kicked the turf just as he was setting his feet to take the shot. Nobody did anything to him. Christian just fell. Meanwhile, another Vere man is on the turf, getting rid of the boots. Maybe it's the heat, Donald.
Yeah, usually last season we saw a lot of players just watering their boots, although I think he just signaled that he either wants a change of boots or he wants to come off.
I know that our producer has some fancy tools in his armory. Well, fancy tools in his toolkit. I wonder if he can tell us how much football we've actually played in the second half, because it's as if we've had more stoppages than actual action.
We have. hence a comment in regards to the stopwatch.
Yeah, I think he's changing his boots. I think those have run hot. And will he wet these before he puts them on? No, he's just gonna slip them on quickly.
Probably they were in an ice box somewhere. Providing some relief. Swaby on the ball. Came off Swaby last. Christian. Christian does well. Can fire from there, lays it out wide, and this is wonderfully saved by Kadeem Davis. Pusey with the overlapping run. Or was it Bygrave?
It was
Bygrave.
Let me tell you, this was a cracking run from Nicoy Christian, though, driving through the heart of the Vere United defense. Two men falling at his feet, and he's not an angel. And then he asked Bygrave to just find the net. Good save by Kadeem Davis.
Ball played inside, and trying to get on the end of it was McPherson, and there was an infringement there inside the area. The call going in favor of Vere.
Yeah, maybe another stoppage here. McPherson following through. Campbell asking for a caution, saying that was a dangerous tackle. Referee disagreeing. Yeah, but the first dangerous moment for the half from Dunbeholden. And Nicoy Christian at the heart of it.
That was a strong challenge coming in from Kevin Graham.
Yep.
And Dean Andre Thomas knew little about it. Gets a free kick though. McCarthy. Bygrave. Phillips. Phillips delivering. Oh, a good one! The header by belly of the post. The follow-up is blocked. And Christian trying to play it inside the box once more. And the Vere Technical got away with one. They still have to defend though. It's at the back post and the whistle goes. There was a collision. Again, the free kick goes in favor of Vere United in their own penalty area.
Wow. Only 3 games deep into this Premier League season, but we've seen some cracking crosses. Look at this one from Phillips once again on the money, and climbing and making good connection was Kimoni Bailey, but the base of the post preventing him from getting his name on the score sheet. The cross was worth a lot. On the money. And he could have had a second assist, Phillips. Could have claimed a second assist with that one.
He's been good. He's really been good, Phillips. And Bailey just contemplating that chance again. Hitting the woodwork. Coming very close to going ahead once again in this contest.
You know, I don't mean to sound mean, but Kevin Graham down with that injury is almost like it's a contradiction of sorts. Kevin Graham is I regard him as one of the toughest players I've seen in this Premier League in a long time, and to see him laid out on the floor, writhing in pain, very unusual sight. He's back up and running though.
Tivoli Gardens will feature in the next game against Portmore United, and there's Tivoli Gardens going through their paces, and that's Jermaine Teddy Johnson with a stopwatch in hand, overseeing the proceedings. Former national player, of course, Jermaine Johnson was involved last season on the pitch. That was a wonderful turn there. Neil. Now Swaby. Ball switch to the left hand side. First touch wasn't the best from Ramon Plummer.
Look over shoulder. Hey. Look over shoulder.
Lewis is the one who's spotting the free kick.
His deliveries have been poor though, so far.
Five to aim for.
Did I say? Poor effort.
Damien Hyde. Distribution wasn't well done on that occasion. Was looking for the substitute, Dean Andre Thomas. Christian couldn't get the toe in. Now it's with Dennis. Not naturally smooth Vere in their transition. Get the feeling that Dunbeholden are coming into their own in the final 10 minutes here.
Yeah, almost as if the passing rhythm is back, the momentum is back.
Bygrave, Bailey sends it out wide. The delivery inside, looking for Thomas, and no problems there for Davis.
Swaby loses his boot again, the same foot, the left foot that he lost some moments ago.
Phillips delivery inside, looking for Bygrave, and that was too high. Couldn't quite get over it to keep it down and on target.
Change being made by Vere, number 7 is coming out.
Yeah, so Neil out and Horton Wright is replacing him.
And not because he has scored, but Lamar Neal has been their best attacking player in this game, Vere United. And we were saying in the first half that one of the problems that they were having was that they weren't getting him in the game, and he wasn't getting himself in the game. He wasn't being played in the game either. He wasn't being helped by his teammates. Came to the party in the second half. 2 knocks though, for which he required extensive treatment. It may be injury related, his substitution at this point in the contest, with the game still in the balance.
There's his goal. Was there at the right time. Neil. Crucial goals equalizer in this contest. Another player is down for Dunbeholden on this occasion. Looks to be Sean Dua. The player who has just come on for Vere United, Corton Wright, wearing the number 45, is a former Heidel player. Another one looking to make his transition to the senior level.
Yep, Davis is down again, the goalkeeper for Vere. Looks to be the same ankle that caused him problems in that first half.
Usually it's a time management tactic, but he really was injured. There's Wright, again one of the players. It's good to see the Premier League rejuvenated with young talent, George Davis, and it has freshened things up, the competition, the rivalry as well.
Yeah, I know you're making the point in a generally good sense, and I take it for that, my friend. I hear people say often, though, speak as if that hasn't always been the case, as if the Premier League doesn't depend largely on what comes out of the school system at the end of the year.
Right effort is straight to the goalkeeper. No problems there for Hyatt. Christian. Romario McPherson now. McCarthy. Bailey's first touch wasn't the best at all. Christian will retrieve. McCarthy with it now. Not sure what he was thinking of there.
Was trying to hook up with Bygrave, who acknowledged the intent behind the pass, if not the execution.
Ricardo Dennis is coming out for Vere United now as they make another change. Tyrese Harrison is coming on the park.
Looks as if he's still a schoolboy, Donald, is he?
Well, he and his twin brother, Tyreek, who's also on the bench, represented Lennon High. Dunbeholden set to make another change. Jamil Hardware is going to make his way on the park soon. So that's young Harrison coming on.
Harrison replacing Ricardo Dennis, number 10 in the Vere.
Bailey collects. Harrison gets his first touch. That's not a bad take at all. Messam inside. Play continues. Plummer. And
bad decision, Donald. Alton Lewis was eating up the ground to his left in a lot of space. Then Plummer ducked inside on the right foot. And it all broke down from there. Not very intelligent from Rowan Pomon in that instance.
Christian, too much on that ball. Couple of Vere players down now.
The two I spoke of just now, Lewis and Plummer.
Davis eating up a lot of the time. Just now,
he's having an argument with Dean Andre Thomas, taking exception with the striker's challenge on him just now for a ball he felt was dead.
So Clayton Busey comes off. Jamil Hardware is on.
Being replaced by number 5, Jamil Hardware. So that's Clayton Busey out.
Wasn't he an outstanding schoolboy football, Jamil Hardware, in his Bridgeport High playing days?
Yeah, and really caught the eye at this top level when he played for Boys Town. Didn't quite hit those heights at Arnett Gardens, neither at Mount Pleasant.
Swaby.
Impossible to knock off the ball, Francois Swaby.
Ball punted long. Plummer on it. That's a wonderful ball inside, headed away by Dyer. And oh, that was poor at the end.
Yeah. That was Javier Brown. Not sure what he was aiming at. Certainly wasn't the goal. But yeah, very, very good for boys done under Andrew Price's guidance. And when he went to the jungle, Arnett Gardens, you thought that, better team, must play better. It didn't happen. And Mount Pleasant was reduced to some cameo appearances. Didn't quite hit the heights there either. At his best, Jamil Hardware, an incisive passer, very intelligent use of the football, and can score from a free kick. From dead ball situations, his delivery usually good as well.
Christian. Bygrave sends it out wide. Delivered too much for Bailey. And Kadeem Davis with the easy gathering.
Is that 8 minutes added on time I see over there on the board? Yes, Donald? Just about right for what we... Just for the second half alone, Donald. The number of stoppages we've had in the duration.
Hopefully we can see a football game now. And who knows, there may be stoppages for the stoppages. Christian. Bailey. Christian. And there was a clip. And it's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden.
Good refereeing from Odette Hamilton, because Corton Wright was fouling Nicoy Christian from the halfway line. The midfielder was trying to get away from him. And Wright was sticking to his task defending. And she ignored his attempts at repeatedly trying to foul Christian until that moment when it was blatant and Dunbeholden lost possession.
Christian has moved away from the kick.
Yeah, because two men who are perhaps better exponents of the free kick than him, McCarthy and Hardware, have an interest in it.
Number 5 and the number 8 behind the ball. It's Jamil Hardware! Simply brilliant. Off the bench, the difference maker. And what a hit that was from Jamil Hardware. And does that give them all 3 points in this fixture over Vere United?
Yeah, like a top-class DJ in the studio recording a hit. He comes off and comes up with a big hit, smashing this one to the left of the goalkeeper off the bench. I did say that at his best, he's an incisive passer, and he is very good from dead ball situations, especially free kicks. Happy I put that on the table before he came up, and it made me look like a smart fellow, Jamil Hardware. That was good, to say the least.
What a hit that was. It really was a wonderful strike. And in stoppage time, Dunbeholden ahead by 2 goals to 1.
And the sum total of their display in this game would support them leaving here with 3 points, Dunbeholden, for the quality of what they showed, especially in that first half. Game not done yet, though. There's still enough time for Vere to equalize.
Well, if we are to use the example of the Arnett Gardens Cavalier game yesterday, we have a lot of time remaining in this one. Was there a push in the back? There was from Dyer on Tyrese Harrison.
It's almost like a short corner situation for Vere now. Let's see if they load up the box.
Not quite loading up the box there, but there are players taking their time, making their way inside now. There's a delivery at the near post. And there's an appeal for a handball. And the Vere players, they don't get their way.
Yeah, I'd love to see that replay. Didn't look as if the ball hit something on the way through. Off the chest.
Yeah.
DeAndre Thomas getting his big chest in the way.
Bailey. Bailey was convinced it was his throw, and I agree with him. Christian. Hardware. Bygrave. Back to Hardware. McCarthy.
Yeah, you must be a good team though, Donald, when you can afford to bring Jamil Hardware and Nicoy Christian off your bench.
Indeed. Did he beat the offside trap?
No.
Flag goes up over on the far side.
Frustrating for Vere, although in truth they didn't really report to the game in a serious way until the second half. And then it got choppy and the action was sporadic in between, players needing treatment. And then suddenly Dunbeholden found their rhythm and their momentum once again. And Thomas was able to call on a talented player from his bench.
McPherson to Bailey. As Dunbeholden tried to keep possession here, and they're doing a pretty decent job at it. Until it's intercepted. Messam. Free kick to Vere.
Yeah, good foul by McPherson. Just grabbing Messam's shoulder there, halting the forward momentum of the Vere build up. Messam being told by his teammates to get up. Doesn't join the attack, the man wearing number 9 will help to defend.
This ball delivered and handled well by the Dunbeholden defense. DeAndre Thomas heading into the box. He has support at the back post. Thomas goes himself! Fingertip save onto the bar and behind. That was close again.
Big time save from Kadeen Davis, and it needed one to keep that one out of the top left-hand corner. DeAndre Thomas took his time very much over this play, deciding what to do. Had the back heel option to Bailey, who would have been freed down the left-hand side. Look at Bailey creeping in to the shot right there, but decided to go for the top corner, and the goalkeeper equal to the task. Big save.
Very good save. Corner kick to Dunbeholden in the final minute of a time added on for stoppages. And no surprise that they take it short.
When you look at the Vere substitutes and the players that Donovan Ducky was able to bring on, some schoolboy stars, while Harold Thomas was able to bring on players who would walk into most Premier League teams. That's the difference between the teams today.
That's the end of the game. And after 90 minutes, Dunbeholden with the 2-1 win. Jamil Hardware coming off the bench and scoring a fabulous free kick, securing all 3 points for Dunbeholden.
Bygrave in the 18th minute. Jamil Hardware 90 plus 2 minutes. Replying for Vere United. Amar Neal in the 58th minute. So, Dunbeholden, Vere United.
So, Dunbeholden coming away with a 2-1 win over Vere United. And it was an interesting game for the most part. Dunbeholden with an effort that was wide of the mark. Pusey hitting that one and delivering inside, looking for Bygrave, and Ataproy. Bygrave jumping the highest and guiding that well. Phillips with a wonderful ball inside the area and Bygrave doing the rest. And with that, Dunbeholden took the lead in the first half early in the piece in the 8th minute. Second half action now. Salmon sending that one inside. Wasn't handled well and it was thrashed in by Neil. And Lamar Neal made it 1-1. And then in the 90th minute, a wonderful hit by Jamil Hardware, who had just come on as a sub. And Kadeem Davis could do little with that, as it was fired into his left. And that was the goal that made the difference. They could have added one more. Dean Andre Thomas making a little bit of room, going for the top corner, and the save was made. So 2-1 the final score. Vere United with 10 shots, 3 on target. And Dunbeholden with 19 shots, 11 on target. They committed 15 fouls, 6 more than Vere United. And 3 yellow cards were shown in this contest, 2 to Dunbeholden and 3 corner kicks to Dunbeholden as well. Vere United with 60% of the possession in this one. Let's go downstairs now to George Davis.
All right, so I'm here with our man of the match. Firstly, tell me about the heat today, this 1 o'clock kickoff.
Well, the sun was very hot. We had to put 2 insoles in the boats to keep the cushion.
Yeah.
But 2 teams out there, we have to just play through it.
Yeah, we were impressed with your crossing throughout the game. You had 2 very, very good deliveries. One in the first half that Bygrave put in with a cracking header. Have you been doing work on that in training?
Yeah, we have been training very hard on squares and going on the line. But we have to ensure that we put away the goals after those squares.
Yeah, you start the season with a victory. Is this a sign that Dunbeholden will be a serious contender for the title this year?
Yes, we'll be going very far.
All right, well, congratulations and all the best.
Thanks a lot.
Good. That's our man of the match, Donovan Dukino, the coach of Vere, will walk into the shot just now. Donovan, they are not sponsoring us, so we can take this from you just for the moment. There you go, sir. We saw a proverbial game of 2 halves from your team. We thought in the first half your boys didn't really turn up in a serious way. The second half, much better, but you got done at the end by a free kick.
Yeah, it's a tough luck for us. It's the first one. We have not played a practice game coming into this game. So, the preparation wasn't the best. We made use of the first half. We got a feel of what it felt like. I thought we did poorly in the first half. We kept on turning over possession. We got caught in transition a lot. Dunbeholden, they were quicker to the first ball. In the second half, we came out, we played. We got the go-ahead goal, but in the 88th minute, between 70 to 80, I thought we switched off, and it's due to the condition of the team. So that was expected. We tried to close out the game tactically, made 2 changes. It didn't happen for us. We were undone by a beautiful free kick. Kudos to that one from Hardware. It's football, but we just have to go back, continue to work. It's early days.
Yeah, and I noted to Donald Oliver on commentary, Donovan, that whereas Harold Thomas was able to bring the likes of Jamil Hardware and Nicole Christian off his bench, you were only able to summon players who were just recently out of school. Difference in experience.
Yes, definitely. We have changed probably 2 or 3 personnel from last season, but it's the same thing, like associative and commutative law. 2 + 2 4, 10 - 6 4 still. So in terms of the depth on the bench, we're a little bit soft today because of vaccination reasons. So 3 or 4 senior players, they were out, but it will definitely get much better for us. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. We wish you all the best for the rest of the competition.
Thank you very much.
Donovan Ducky there. Harold Thomas, the man who conditioned Dunbeholden, walks into the shot right now. And first thing to say, Harold, as you adjust your microphone, is congratulations. Your thoughts on your team's performance today?
As you say, a performance of 2 halves. We started the match well, controlled the game. Then in the middle of the game, we got into a little funk. So eventually, we're able to come back at the end of the game. But it's not good enough for us, but it's still work in progress.
Yeah, and we were saying on commentary that it's a measure of the squad, the quality squad you have at your disposal this season. Yeah. That you're able to carry, call on someone like Christian and Hardware off your bench.
Off the bench, yeah. It's a much deeper squad this year. And we're hoping that it can carry a little bit further.
Well, congratulations. Good luck the first game, especially the first half. We hope you can build on this.
We hope so.
Thank you very much. Harold Thomas there, the coach of Dunbeholden.
So Dunbeholden with a 2-1 win over Vere United here at the UEJFF Captain Horace Centre of Excellence. All 3 points going to the team from St. Catherine.
Lenny Hyde, Portmore